Sup, everybody? Glad to be back. If you guys are ever wondering if you're a Christian and you're still getting like tormented and, you know, abused, and you're going through all this trauma, stress, anxiety, depression, all that good stuff, wave to your neighbor. It'll make you feel better. But nah, seriously, like, I started thinking about this today, man, because I was getting really pissed off, and I could just tell the devil was tempting me and baiting me into things and old habits, and it was really getting under my skin and irritating me. We're not perfect, you know. We're born into this world with original sin, you know. If you read Genesis, you know that. But we can fight back. We have free will, and our words are powerful. So, the reason why I think we go through a lot as Christians is because, yes, like, not only when you commit your faith to the Lord, is your faith going to be tested, but also, like, you know, Satan's not going to waste his time with people who he already has, right? If he's stolen their soul, why would he waste their time with them? You know, he got what he wanted. He's going after the people who are saved, who believe in God, who are trying to do right. That's who he's going after. So, you know, and I don't know, man. It's always gonna be that. Like, it's never gonna, at least on Earth, right? It's never gonna be like, okay, like, he's done messing with me for good now. Like, man, he's always gonna try. Always. And but you have to be really disciplined and not give in, you know. And it's very hard to do. I still lose sometimes. Can't win them all, but I'm just going to keep trying. And, you know, none of us are perfect, but all we can do is just keep trying our best and praying, reading our Bibles, going to church, giving it to God, asking for his strength and courage. And then one day you'll beat that. You'll beat that addiction. You'll get that demon off your shoulder finally. And when I say it never ends, it's because, like, you might conquer one thing, but then he's going to try to get you in a different way. So, but if you just keep winning and stacking those wins, man, like, you're gonna really have his number, you know what I mean? So that's what you got to do. That's what you got to focus on, is just winning these small mini battles throughout the day, instead of like let's say you're trying to give up cussing. I know, big one of mine. Like, if I go through my whole life in my head, like, so let's just say every day I get up and I'm like, man, like, let's say I live to be 100. I mean, I got 75 more years of, like, no cussing. Like, what if I slip up, or how will I ever do that? You can't look at it that way, man. You can't approach it in that mindset. You have to approach it every day. Just be like, you got to wake up every day and just be like, all right, what's in front of me? Like, what do I got to do? How can I win today? How can I just win the next hour? How can I be good right now? What in the next 5 seconds do I need to focus on in order to be successful? Like, you really got to break it down and chunk it down. It's like phonics, you know, like back in the day when we used to have to learn how to pronounce words. Like, if you see a big word, you're not going to try to just say the word. You got to chunk it up in order to pronounce the word properly, right? You go through that problem, you solve that problem. So it's the same thing with this. Like, don't get overwhelmed. Like, if you're going through something, chunk it up, okay? You got to chunk it up. Because if you don't, life is going to be hard for you. It's going to be very hard. Because as I said, you're always going to be tempted, man. You're trying to give your life to the Lord and do the right thing. And another thing too that I was going to say earlier that I completely forgot about, you know, God never puts too much on our plates. Like, he never does that. He's never going to give you something that you can't handle, or a battle that you can't fight and win. So it might seem overwhelming, but if you ask for his help, for his strength, like, you can win. You can win this battle. I'm telling you guys. You'd be very surprised what you could actually overcome. I mean, like, think about it. If you're going through something right now, imagine a year from now, your life's going to be totally different. Like, life is always going to be changing. I mean, there were times, let's say like 5 years ago, where, man, I didn't know how I was ever going to get a house. I didn't know how I was ever going to make enough money to, like, live in my own house. And I just, like, I was working at a grocery store, and I was still living at home with my mom, and I just didn't really know my path of life. Like, I was just kind of going through the motions, and, you know, waking up every day with, like, a grateful attitude, but I wanted more, and I didn't know how to get there. And I remember, like, those hard nights where I was praying, and I would just be like, God, like, I'm doing everything I can. I don't know how to get there. Like, I can't do this alone. I need your help. And he was there for me every step of the way, you know, and he's always going to be there for you guys. So, like, even when you sin and mess up, he still loves you. So, you know, just know that you're never alone, because you always have God. But also, like, if you're going through a specific problem, chances are there's so many other people out there going through the same thing, or they have went through the same thing. So you don't have to panic. Like, it's gonna be okay. And that's all I can really say, man. It's not gonna be a crazy long video. I just want you guys to know that, like, you know, understand that, like, being a Christian, you're gonna go through a lot. You're gonna be put through the ringer, and you're gonna be tested all the time. But understand that, like, that's completely normal. Don't just give up and be like, well, this Christian thing didn't work for me, like, blah blah blah. Like, dude, it's okay to struggle. Like, it's okay to suffer. You know, we were never promised an easy life on earth, you know. Otherwise it'd be heaven. And why would we even need to worry about going to heaven if earth was so perfect? You know, it wouldn't even be the case. Our God, you know, like Jesus, he suffered. He suffered for the greater good. And we're made in his image. So, I'm not saying we were just strictly only born to suffer, but we can suffer. We can withstand a lot. So don't doubt yourself, especially if you have God on your team. You're going to get through it. You're strong. You'll pull through. And then after that, you're going to be even stronger. And then imagine, like, your testimony after that. In order to have a testimony, you got to be tested first. And after that happens, now you'll be able to help other people get through problems. So that's the video for today, guys. Hope you're doing good. And have a good Monday. Let's kill this week. And I'll see you the next one. Peace.